You're ready to form your single-member LLC in Texas on your own. This course is perfect in that I'll walk you through all the steps you need to form and maintain your Texas LLC. In this course, I'll cover 10 steps by creating a fictional LLC
named Line B. It's an online retail store run by one person, you. What will be covered is
how to name your Texas LLC, how to pick a Texas business address, choose your Texas registered agent, file your certificate of formation, create your operating agreement, obtain an EIN, obtain a business bank account, obtain business licenses and permits, franchise tax and public information report, and taxes. After that, you should learn how to start and run your remote business as a Texas LLC.
But before we dive in, let's cover what an LLC is, when you should begin to form one, the pros, the cons, and all that good stuff. Let's talk about Line B LLC as an online store. Please note this is just an example.
What is an LLC? A limited liability company, or LLC, is a hybrid business structure that has characteristics of a sole proprietorship, general partnership, and corporation. An LLC is the simplest and most flexible business structure for a home-based business to form and maintain. It has the tax advantages of the non-corporation entities and limited liability protection of corporations.
So what does all that mean for you? It means you'll get protection, flexibility, and it's easy to fill out the documentation yourself to form and maintain as a single-member LLC.
When should you form an LLC?
You should form an LLC when
you're regularly selling your product or service, you have regular and repeat clients or customers, you're hiring independent contractors or employees, or you would like your business to have its own liabilities, assets, and can operate business bank accounts separate from your personal accounts. What are the advantages of an LLC? The first advantage is legal protection. Compared to a sole proprietorship or partnership, an LLC will protect your personal assets and also shield you against being personally responsible for the LLC's debts or lawsuits. It can be formed by one or more individuals and protects the personal assets of the owners in the event the business goes bankrupt or is sued. LLCs protect owners from being personally responsible for lawsuits, loss of personal customer information, or products damaged by the company. Next is pass-through taxation. An LLC's net income will pass down directly to the individual LLC owners. The owners then report their share of profit and loss on their individual tax returns, meaning you avoid double taxation that exists within corporations. Credibility. An LLC is recognized by partners, suppliers, and lenders as more favorable. The business name will let customers take your business more seriously. Simple maintenance. LLCs require less paperwork, formal meetings, roles, and record-keeping procedures compared to corporations.
Although there are many benefits, there are also some downsides to forming an LLC.
A couple of disadvantages of an LLC are taxation. If an LLC is taxed as a pass-through entity, individual owners will need to pay taxes on their share of the profit and loss regardless if they received a cash disbursement from the company. This may cause an undue cash flow burden on the owners. Maintenance costs. Every year, an LLC will normally need to pay an annual fee to maintain the company status. This increases the cost of having an LLC.
Overall, let me sum up the advantages in a nutshell. The number one reason why you'll want an LLC is for asset protection. To create a wall between your business and your personal assets. Your personal assets are things like your home, car, investments, bank accounts, really everything you own. And in the case that you're sued, they can only go after your business assets and your personal things are safe. What a relief. Other bonuses are LLCs avoid double taxation, are credible, don't have to maintain minutes or reporting, and are easy to form and maintain.
Name your Texas LLC. First things first, you'll want to make sure that your desired LLC name is available for use in the state. Your Texas LLC name must be unique and distinguishable when compared to existing businesses registered in the state. There are 3 ways to search an LLC name in Texas. Call the State Business Information Line at 512-463-5555. Send an email to corpinfo@sos.texas.gov. Check the Texas Comptroller's Taxable Entity Search page. A recommendation: even if you search your LLC name on the Taxable Entity Search page and it seems available, it's still a good idea to call and confirm. A tip is to call early in the morning. There's barely any hold time. While Texas has changed their laws and loosened their restrictions, the reason most LLC filings are rejected is due to business name issues. Your LLC name must include a designator at the end. Texas law lets you use any of what you see on your screen. Be sure once you assign your LLC designator from the list to use it moving forward. Your Texas business name cannot include a designator that makes it sound like a different type of legal entity. For example, you can't use Inc., Incorporated, Corp or Corporation, LP, LLP, Nonprofit, or Nonprofit Corporation, or designators like that in your LLC name. If you want to change your name, please note you'll need to file an amendment with the Secretary of State. It's important to know a couple things. First, the amendment costs $150. And second, you then have to update your business name everywhere else: the IRS, the comptroller, the bank, debit and credit cards, online registrations, just to name a few. It's just a pain, so choose wisely. Now the steps to get your Texas LLC's name. To name your Texas LLC, you'll head over to the Secretary of State's site. You can search for this and then you'll be directed to the name page. From there, you'll enter SOS Direct, which is the online business service for the Secretary of State website. There's a $1 fee with each search, so be aware of this as you begin your name search for your LLC. For us, we already know the LLC name, Line B LLC. Be sure to note where your personal information will be used. And also, the electronic filing does cost a minimum of $5 per document when you do your submissions. Scrolling down, there are some other things to note, which is the contact information. Now you know all that, go ahead and click Enter Site. From there, you'll enter your account user and password. And then you'll be in the name search portal where you can search with either your business name or you can search by the owner or individual. In this example, it's Kevin Johnson for Line B LLC. Click Continue and then you'll be asked for the name search to include your account address, which is the Keller, Texas address with VPM. I'll cover how to get that business address next. Plus, you'll include your email, phone, and user and password for your account with the Secretary of State. Pick your Texas business address. In this section, you'll learn what business address doesn't work and which ones will work. We'll cover your options of P.O. Box, home address, commercial or office rented space, virtual office, virtual mailbox.
Your business address cannot be a P.O. Box, so save yourself the pain and skip this option altogether. So what can you use?
You can use your home address. It's easy and free, but you risk exposing your home to the public for strangers and unwanted visitors.
It might not be the option you want if you care about privacy.
Commercial or office rented space.
Whether you decide to rent or buy an office space will depend on many variables, including your financial state, business growth, and tax considerations.
It'll be a heavy investment and the most expensive option out of this list, so it's important to consider your operational and financial position. Virtual office.
A closer business address might be a virtual office for you instead of your home address.
It's a hybrid between a physical office space and a remote address. Basically, you get the perks of a physical office like renting a conference room, but you can't work there daily and it's expensive.
So what's closer for you if you run a remote business and don't need the physical office space?
Virtual mailbox. The virtual mailbox for Line B LLC will be with virtual postmail.
A virtual mailbox gives you the cushion you want for protecting your privacy by using their address instead of your home, and it gives you a permanent address.
It also allows you to manage your mail and packages online from any device with internet connection. You'll get extra features along with your virtual mailbox like check depositing and registered agent services.
Now, how to get VPM as your virtual mailbox service?
Go to virtualpostmail.com and check out more details about VPM's Texas location. Then head to the pricing page to choose a plan. As a remote business owner, a good plan is the business for you to start. You'll then head to the sign up page and choose a mailbox number. For this example, we'll use mailbox number 2702. Line B LLC as the name. And if you plan on getting personal mail, check that box. Next, create your login information with username and password. Plus, create your security question and answer. And you'll have to fill out the Form 1583, which is required with 2 forms of identification provided.
And voila! Line B LLC now has VPM as their business address.
Choose your Texas registered agent.
In this section, you'll learn the best option for your registered agent.
What is a registered agent?
A registered agent is a state requirement. They will act as the official contact for the Secretary of State for your business. The state will send your company important compliance information and official correspondence through your registered agent.
What are registered agent requirements? You're required to designate an in-state registered agent when you form your company, as well as maintaining a registered agent in the state in which you formed is an ongoing requirement.
While exact requirements for registered agents vary, there are 3 rules that generally apply.
First rule, the registered agent must be a resident individual or a domestic or qualified out-of-state corporation. Second rule, the registered agent's office address must be a physical address in the state. This means that a P.O. box does not qualify as an in-state address. Third rule. The registered agent must be available during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, to accept any process of service documents.
You can hire a registered agent.
Using a service like virtual postmail can save you time and headache.
Let the compliance, notifications, and legal processing be taken off your plate.
Since we're using virtual postmail's virtual mailbox, i.e. business address already from the previous lesson, it comes with a free registered agent service that can be used here. The benefits of using virtual postmail's registered agent is you'll get same-day delivery of your served legal documents. You'll also get to protect your privacy by using our address on public records compared to yourself, friends, family, where they'll be using their own private addresses. To get VPM's free registered agent services, head over to the registered agent pricing to learn more, which then leads you to first sign up with a separate virtual mailbox in order to utilize it. Pick your plan. What if you don't assign a registered agent?
There are serious consequences if you don't assign and maintain your registered agent. The biggest downside is your business can be suspended in the state of its formation and affect the good standing of your business.
You might also incur penalty fees and late fees. File your certificate of formation. What is a certificate of formation? The certificate of formation is a required document needed to form your LLC in Texas. It's basically a birth certificate for your newly created Texas LLC. It contains information such as your company name, the designated registered agent, how long your LLC will exist, normally perpetual, and the purpose of the business. It'll be dated and signed by an authorized person acting on behalf of the company. How to file your Texas Certificate of Formation. Filing online can be done via SOS Direct. The system is a bit funny in that you have to enter your credit card information first. Don't worry though. They don't charge you unless you click Submit at the end. This is just to prevent fraudulent filings. Head to Business Organization. Once you log into the portal, you'll be able to find all formation elements. In this case, since Line B LLC is a new LLC in Texas, go to Web Filings. Remember, the first step was claiming your business name, and step 2 and 3 were the business address and registered agent services in Texas, which you'll need to complete your certificate of formation. Under Web Filing, select Domestic Limited Liability Company, LLC. Then upload file document. Choose under Filing Type, Certificate of Formation. To begin, you'll be under Article 1, Entity Name and Type. Select under Organization Type, Limited Liability Company, and the name of the LLC, Line B LLC. Click Continue. Next, you'll be in Article 2, Registered Agent and Office. Type your business name or name of owner. Then you'll want to add the address of the registered agent. Choose Consent on File with Entity, which means you as a person who is creating the LLC consent to have this person or company that you have listed as your registered agent. Click Continue. Part 3 of the Certificate of Formation is named Article 3 Governing Authority. So you can pick the first because you're a member of the LLC, but you are also a manager, so add yourself and click Continue. Next, you'll be asked for supplemental provisions or information, and you don't need anything here unless you feel it necessary, so click Continue. Add yourself as the organizer, in this case Kevin Johnson of Line B LLC and address, which will be step 2, the virtual postmail Keller, Texas address, and continue. Then you'll be under execution, which is a signature. As the organizer, in this case again Kevin Johnson. No need to fill out the effective date unless you don't want, for example, your LLC to be effective until December 31st. If that's the case, fill that out, but that's for a later date. If you want it faster, you don't want to fill this effective date and continue. Last thing, the filing fee is $300. LLC approval time if you file online using SOS Direct is 10 to 12 business days. You'll get back a certificate of filing and stamped and approved certificate of formation. They'll be returned by email if you file online. Simple. Create your operating agreement.
What is an operating agreement? An operating agreement is a key legal document every LLC should put together to clearly outline the rules and regulations regarding ownership and structure, as well as the financial and operational layout for the company. Once all the members of the LLC have signed the operating agreement, it becomes official and binds the signatories to its terms.
Note that no state requires that you file an operating agreement with the Secretary of State. Your operating agreement is an internal contract that you'll keep with your company records. Rocket Lawyer Operating Agreement. Go to the website Rocket Lawyer and create an account. It's free to sign up for creating our operating agreement. Please note this is just an example and should not be taken as legal advice. You should consult a lawyer if you have any specific questions or needs. Once you're on the dashboard, click Make Documents. Click LLC Operating Agreement. Choose a state where your LLC is being formed. In this case, it's Texas. For this example, our LLC is Line B LLC. Put the name of the owner or member, it's Kevin Johnson. This is the date when the LLC's operating agreement takes effect. Choose a state where you'll be forming your LLC. For Line B LLC, it's Texas. Although in your operating agreement it won't be public, it's best practice to use the business address you have on your certificate of formation. In this example, in the certificate of formation, it was a VPM address. Next is your registered agent information. Note that the address cannot be a PO box. This should have been selected. And again, this information should match what you have on your certificate of formation. Business purpose is a short description of what you'll be doing. It can be 1 to 3 sentences, or you can skip. For Line B LLC, we simply stated, we'll sell goods online with clothing. Will the LLC operate indefinitely, or will it end on a specific date? We're going to choose operate indefinitely with no expiration date. The next question is about how your LLC will be taxed, and in this case, I'll choose no. This is often asking for your asset contribution. In this case, it's cash only, my savings. If you want details, you can click Need Help with this question. Input how much money you'll be contributing to your LLC, or if you're unsure, you can skip. For distribution frequency, we're going to choose annual. This is voting power for future members for your LLC structure. Let's match percentage and voting power. The two forms are manager manage and member manage LLCs. The member manage LLC is a more common default because this means all owners are involved in the decision making day to day. As a single member LLC, you're the owner. Select yes if you want to have officers for your LLC. For now, no is what I'll select because I don't plan on it. The fiscal year will be the year that your LLC maintains its financial records. Often a safe bet is December, but will depend on your industry. If you have questions, you can ask an expert on the right. For this next question about member liability, for now let's say no. You can change this later. Final checkout. Then you can choose your plan. The free trial is enough and cancellation information is here. Be sure to download and keep safely for your records and update as needed. Obtain an EIN. In this section, you'll learn how to file for your EIN online, or if you want to mail or fax instead, how to fill out the SS4.
What is an EIN? The Employer Identification Number, also known as the Federal Employer Identification Number, or the Federal Tax Identification Number, is a unique 9-digit number assigned by the IRS to business entities operating in the United States for the purposes of identification. Think of it as your business's social security number.
The cost to apply for an EIN. It's free on the IRS website. There are a few ways to apply, either online, mail-in form, or fax. I'll cover the best method, which is online. Then go over the SS4 form if you want to mail or fax the form. EIN online filing can only be done if you have an EIN, ITIN, or SSN. If you do not have this, you will not be able to file this online and you must file via fax or mail. For Line B, I'll be using my social, so online is my method. Go to the IRS website and navigate to the EIN page. Hit Apply Online Now. Read the important information and begin application. What type of legal structure is applying for an EIN? I'll select Limited Liability Company. Continuing on, review what an LLC is and what it is not. Now the details. The section Identity. Tell us more about the members of the LLC. For this, I'll put 1 because as the owner, you'll be counted. And you'll select Texas as a state of business operations. Please confirm your selection. Review more about a single member LLC. Why is the LLC requesting an EIN? Here you'll pick one reason that best describes why you are applying for an EIN. In this scenario, it's a new LLC. So I'll select Started a New Business since I am beginning a new business. The section Authenticate. Please tell us about the responsible party of the LLC. Fill out the blanks with your own information since you'll be the owner of the LLC. And select I am one of the owners, members, or managing members of this LLC. Again, because you're a single member LLC. The section Addresses. Where's the LLC physically located? Something to note is that you cannot use a PO box. You can use your home address if it's in Florida. But remember that forming your LLC, it'll be listed publicly as your LLC's business address. An ideal option to protect your privacy is you can use a VPN virtual mailbox address for this. The section Details. Tell us about the LLC. Fill in the blanks with the legal name of your LLC and must match your articles of organization in which you registered your name under. Going to skip the trade name DBA unless you have this. county, state, state in which you filed to operate your business, the LLC start date. Tell us more about the LLC. Select all that apply to your specific industry. Most of these cases I'll select no. What does your business or organization do? Select the industry that applies and describe what your business does best. For Line B LLC, we'll select retail. You will then be taken to this window. Select or specify what applies. For Line B LLC, it's selling goods exclusively over the internet. How would you like to receive your EIN confirmation letter? We're going to select Receive Letter Online. Now let's go over your business bank account. Open a business bank account. Once the IRS has issued an EIN to your Texas Limited Liability Company, you can open a business checking account. It's best practice to have a business checking account for your LLC in order to maintain your personal liability protection. Using a personal bank account for your LLC is called commingling of assets, and this can lead to personal liability issues if you end up in court. Having a separate business bank account for your LLC also makes record keeping easier for accounting and tax purposes. Since banks in Texas all have their own rules and regulations, we recommend calling a few banks to determine minimum initial deposit, minimum balance requirements, and monthly maintenance fees, if any.
For this section, I'm going to open a Chase Business Bank account because it's my preferred bank. And the most important part to take away here is really the information and address solutions you'll need to open a business bank account, as it's pretty much the foundation anywhere you choose to open your bank.
I'll open the Chase Business Complete Banking. This will be based on all your LLC information. I'm not a customer, so I'll go ahead and click No. Choose the LLC as your legal business structure. Since this is just one person as an owner, it'll be member managed. Ownership type, since it's just you, pick privately held. Again, just one person, so yes. And for this case, not owned by another business. This is the LLC information and documentation that will be needed to finish your business bank account. Line B LLC Business Bank Account. For the legal business name, let's put Line B, and suffix is LLC. Confirm this with a checkbox. There is no trade name or DBA, so click No. Pick your tax ID. Use the EIN you got in step 6. Now the physical address. It can be your home address. If you want to use this, go ahead. I'll mark No and use my home address. We're using VPM's Texas location for our business address, but going to use our home address to open this bank account. PO boxes, virtual offices, or UPS addresses are not accepted. Email address, business phone number. Now the financials. Tax year or end date is often December. Choose where and when your business was established. And similar to your EIN, pick your business description for Line B LLC. It's an online retail store selling women's clothing. Here you'll be asked more details about Line B LLC. You'll be asked about your customers, and in the case of Line B LLC, it's individuals. Where will your business customers, services operate from? For now, it's US for Line B LLC. Source of funding. Basically where your money comes from for your business. US. Withdrawal, depositing, and electronic transfers, you can make your best bet. And for Line B LLC, it's new, so I'll pick none. The source of ongoing business funds for Line B LLC will be from business operations, customers, and a loan. For Line B LLC, there are times of flux, which are the holidays. This account will be for operating, payroll, and tax purposes. And the money that will be used to open this account will be cash, personal, and a grant. You'll then have to verify your ownership percentage. For Kevin Johnson, it's 100%, and then review and submit the application. Next is your personal information. Fill out your first and last name. I'm a citizen, so I'll mark yes. Country is the US. Date of birth. Social Security or EIN. Choose what ID you'd like to use. It must be a government-issued ID, such as a state-issued driver's license, state-issued ID card. Something to note is you might need a secondary form of ID, which can be something like a utility bill for proof of address. The issuing state in this case, it's Texas. I'll put domestic here and use my Texas home address. Email that you want to use for communications with a bank, and phone.
Other documents you might need are articles of organization, operating agreement, and other formation docs.
A filed copy of your LLC's articles of organization to ensure that your business is legally registered with a state. A copy of your LLC operating agreement. This is usually required to ensure that you are authorized to open bank accounts on behalf of the business. Your federal tax ID number, EIN, the business address where your office is located.
This must be a physical address in the US and can either be a residential or commercial street address. It cannot be a PO box. Banks may require you to provide proof of address to ensure you do occupy or own the space.
A mailing address where all your documents, statements, and notices will be sent. This can be any address. A valid ID of the company owners or members. Obtain business licenses and permits. Let's go over the licenses and permits you'll need to form a Texas LLC. State business license. Texas doesn't require any individual or business entity to get a statewide general business license to conduct business. While you'll need to check with your local city or town, most cities in Texas also don't have a general business license. Sales tax permit. Your LLC in Texas will need to register for sales tax if it sells or leases tangible personal property in the state or it sells a taxable service. Local license or permit. Depending on where your LLC is located and the industry it's in, you may need local business licenses or permits to legally operate. Since there are far too many cities and towns to list here, it's best to call your local municipality for guidance. You can also find a list of licenses on texas.gov, click Business, click Occupational and Professional Licenses. For a full list of permit and license regulations, check out the description in this video. Or you can find them on the list of licenses on the Department of Licensing and Regulation website, or the Texas Commission on Environment Quality has a list of permits and licenses you may need. Franchise Tax and Public Information Report. All LLCs in Texas, regardless of revenue or business activity, must file a Texas Franchise Tax Report and a Public Information Report every year. Unlike most states where an LLC annual report is filed with the Secretary of State, the LLC annual report in Texas, called the Franchise Tax Report and PIR, is filed with the Texas Comptroller's Office. The franchise tax is a privilege tax for doing business in Texas. Part of this privilege includes liability protections provided by state law. Due date. Texas franchise tax reports are due every year by May 15th. Your LLC's first franchise tax reports are not due until the year after your LLC is formed. For example, an LLC formed in March 2023 wouldn't file its first franchise tax report until May 15th, 2024. Welcome letter. A few weeks after your LLC is approved by the Texas Secretary of State, you'll receive a welcome letter from the Comptroller's Office. The welcome letter has your LLC's 11-digit taxpayer number. This isn't your federal tax ID number. This is a Texas taxpayer number. Franchise Tax Questionnaire. In your welcome letter, you'll also find an FQ number, which you'll use to complete the Franchise Tax Questionnaire. This can be done via web file. Once your questionnaire is submitted, the Comptroller's Office will issue you an XT number. You'll use your 11-digit taxpayer number and your XT number when filing your franchise tax report and PIR each year. No tax due. Over 90% of LLCs in Texas fall under the no tax due threshold of $1,230,000 in annualized total revenue. In that case, they file a report, but don't pay any tax. The report they file is called the No Tax Due Report, Form 05163. The No Tax Due Report should be filed online via web file. When filed online, the No Tax Due Report includes a public information report. Web file combines them into one interface. For 2022, this threshold amount is $1.23 million in annualized total revenue. You can file via the Easy Computation method or by using the long form. The Easy Computation tax rate is 0.331% of total revenue and doesn't allow for deductions. The long form tax rate is 0.357% of taxable margin for retailers and wholesalers, and 0.75% for all other businesses. Taxes. Let's familiarize ourselves with Texas taxes. No state income tax. Texas residents don't pay personal state income tax. However, Texas LLCs in Texas are responsible for filing franchise tax reports and collecting sales tax, if applicable. Some other taxes. While Texas doesn't have personal state income tax, depending on your business industry, your LLC may be responsible for other taxes. Some examples are battery sales tax, crude oil tax, mixed beverages tax, natural gas tax, tobacco tax, and more. While these don't apply to majority of you, you'll want to check with an accountant to make sure your LLC meets all its filing obligations. Local taxes. You'll also want to ask an accountant if your Texas LLC is responsible for any local taxes. This varies depending on where your LLC is located and where it's doing business.
Let's summarize all the things we covered together.
How to name your Texas LLC, how to pick a Texas business address, choose your Texas registered agent, file your certificate of formation, create your operating agreement, obtain an EIN, obtain a business bank account, obtain business licenses and permits, franchise tax and public information report, and taxes. Now you know all you need to know about a Texas LLC.
And start your business off on the right foot.